Morning team, I forced the live button because she's taking forever. She ran back upstairs, she's going making teas. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Oh, I was nicely bringing you a pair of glasses.
Thanks.
Oh, there you go.
Thanks.
You see, I can
Morning everyone, how are we all? Welcome to Coffee Moaning. If you're listening on podcast, Nadia is currently just putting on her Fitbit. She's about to make a cup of tea. We're all running late and we need to be done by 10:35 promptish.
So good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee Moaning. If you are new, welcome to our beautiful community here. And I was saying on Instagram earlier, my God, we just love your comments. After our late live last night, Mark and I sat for a good while after just chatting about things you'd said. So we really appreciate how you get involved. How am I breathing?
It was a busy day yesterday on the channel. Really
and
was.
Please, if you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed, it doesn't cost you anything. Just hit that little subscribe button. It really helps us out. It's a bit of a strange one today because, like Mark said, we sort of between our live last night that we had to do. We were utterly distraught by the end of the day yesterday, and we just had to do a live because the amount of misinformation about whether the Gazans are being fed or not, we just couldn't go to bed on it. So really, some of the stuff we're talking about, you might feel
what we were saying is there's going to be a little bit of crossover. Some of the kind of stories are an extension of or a developed thought about stuff that we were talking about last night. Though we dealt with David Beckham. He's on the naughty step. Everyone's disappointed. It's not enough. Could do better. I mean, what does that mean? Are we still going? Just something popped up on stream.
So I just lost access.
Hang on, just one second.
Just one second. I'll carry on talking.
Can you
sort it? So today we're going to talk about Starmer. We've got clips of Starmer. You know how we always say he looks like Paddington Bear? Is it Paddington Bear?
Yes.
Starmer.
Yeah, we're on.
Paddington Bear. Well, he looks terrified in so many different ways with every single thing that Trump says. He tries to stand up for a friend, that's all I say, but we'll have a look at that on video.
I would argue that he looks like a GIMP, sounds like a GIMP, behaves like a GIMP. If anyone doesn't know what a GIMP is, it's a person who wears a latex outfit for sexual gratification.
Mark, you can't keep saying it.
I haven't kept saying it, I've said it once. And the reason it's such an apt description, go to my Instagram where you'll see, he has become so Trump's squeaky GIMP.
So we're going to be talking about that, and we're going to be talking about what does recognizing a Palestine actually mean? Yeah,
or what less what it actually means literally, because no one's doing it. Yeah. But what do we think it could mean?
What the amplification of the plans actually means.
Absolutely.
And also, we have got the most gorgeous little boy who, at certain moments when we need it, is going to come in via video.
Yes,
I want this boy as my son.
Yeah, he's very cute.
He's really very cute, and I want to over the next few weeks play quite a few of his videos because he's really special.
And I think what we try and do, we were saying again this morning, is sometimes it's a very tricky editorial kind of task, trying to get the right sort of stories that are kind of light-hearted or a foil, if you like, or a relief from the relentlessness of the news that's out there. We do try that, but sometimes it's impossible to just go light and breezy when it feels like it's just a bit crass. But in the spirit of looking for other parts of Trump that are perhaps notable or just gobsmacking or just what the fuck, I'm going to play you a few clips before we get into the nitty gritty of why Starmer looks like a rabbit caught in headlights, why he sounds like a GIMP in his outfit. And let's have a listen to Donald Trump when asked about London and the London mayor. Let's have a listen to what he had to say about Sadiq Khan.
London during the state visit, or are you
I will. I'm not a fan of your mayor.
Why not?
I think he's done a terrible job, the mayor of London, but a nasty person.
Are you worried?
I think
he's a friend of mine.
No, I think he's done a terrible job, but I would certainly visit London. Yeah.
A man with no grace, with no manners, with no sense of decency.
Wait.
I'm sorry. What the hell has our mayor, whatever you think of Sadiq Khan, got to do with you?
He's a nasty man.
Not what? Oh, he's obviously said something about Trump, that Trump is offended.
Of course he has.
He is
He's a nasty
Can
man.
I just say about what I think about Trump? He is the very, very worst of what men can be. He epitomizes all the things that women hate about men. Not you, because you're not like that.
Thank you
And
very
most
much.
men are lovely. He is a narcissist. He is a misogynist. He gets so easily wounded. He will carry a criticism until his grave, won't he? When you think of what is going on around the world, and Sadiq Khan probably said something about him in 1992, and he's still holding it, and then coming and sitting in front of our Prime Minister, whatever you think, have a bit of respect.
Absolutely.
Disgusting behaviour.
This is really frustrating. Something's happened with StreamYard where your comments aren't updating on screen.
Oh, just when we were saying how much we love your comments.
Yeah, well, no, but what I have got here is I've got basically the feed on directly from YouTube on the right. So we're not going to be able to share your comments on screen, but we will be able to. Right. I will be able to see them here. So I've got you here. Apologies for that. That's so frustrating, isn't it? It's something weird happened. Yeah, I get it. Of course, look, I can't stand Trump.
So before we say anything about Starmer, that is a disgrace.
Yes, but how did we
he
feel?
has no respect. Sorry.
Babe,
sorry,
just
I'll shut up.
just say
sorry,
something.
yes, you're right. I just when I get too annoyed, sorry, you're right. I did interrupt you twice.
No.
You know what I'm like when
the point is, we all know what Trump is, just for a minute, and it's more about what did we think of Starmer's attempt at kind of defending his friend. And I'm just so that we can be reminded. Let's listen to it one more.
Terrible job, the mayor of London, but a nasty person.
Are you worried?
I think
he's a friend of mine.
No, I think.
Because the reason I said all about that about Trump first is because you're going to be surprised what I say about Starmer.
I don't think I am, because I think I feel the same thing.
I think Starmer behaved in that wonderfully, because we can sometimes be wonderful, British way of he gave him grace. He gave him a chance to stop. Actually, he's a friend of mine. And, you know, imagine how your mind is just racing when you're in that kind of position.
Wow.
And he knows that he knows that people say you didn't stand up for him. He knows, you know, the GIMPs and everything. And don't get me wrong, I'm furious with Starmer, but I like to say things as they are in the moment. And I think he did the best he could.
Well, here's a still image. Here's a still image of what Starmer looked like for most of the interview. It was von
der Leyen was the same.
He pivoted between looking like that and also having his hands on his lap. It's not easy to sit there listening to this stuff with the world looking at you.
Exactly.
I mean, you know, and I actually agree with you. I think the way I was quite surprised that he reached in and said anything about Sadiq
credit
Khan.
where credit's due.
Yeah.
And I am a great admirer of that. I will stand up for my friends like you wouldn't believe. Like one of my recently, a friend of mine, I wonder if Lee is here. Somebody said something to him, and I literally, inside of me, I have it's like an automatic thing goes on in me. Everything reconfigures in my body.
There's a horror film where children, when their bodies can talk, when they're in horror, they reconstitute their body.
And I think sometimes I frighten Lee with how I go, what? And he'll go, you're very loyal, aren't you? Like, yeah, I fucking am. I will fundamentally, everything changes. If you say something to one of my friends that you wouldn't say in front of me to one of my friends, you're over. And so I admire him for doing that, because he's like this. He is gimped up. He's in a straight jacket because all the world is compromised by America. Everyone has to suck up to America or you lose, you know, and just done the tariffs and all of that. You know, it's all a nightmare for them.
But can I just say, I think that, I mean, last night we expressed fury and despair and frustration, and we're probably going to get there again today because it's just run of the course at the moment.
Just wondering what.
But I just want to make a point that one of the best ways sometimes to deal with, have a look if you see
Yeah,
something.
can I take it?
Sometimes the best way to deal with things is to approach it with a kind of sense of humor, because it kind of neuters it and it kind of diminishes it and it takes the power out of it. And for me, I've just kind of found it an increasingly, yes, hideous and awful, and Trump's personality is just reprehensible and just but actually I've just found it really entertaining watching these people who are useless being useless, not knowing how to deal with someone who's really quite offensive. And another example of that is watching just the absolutely toe-curlingly awkward moment where Donald Trump talks about Starmer's wife. Now, don't beat around the bush. Now, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think the bagpipe player in the background is sabotaging.
I do.
I think he might have a relative in a field that says, Donald Trump, you're a CUNT or something, because you can't hear it very well, but there are subtitles on the page. So do check this out and have a listen. And because of the bagpipes, his voice and everything, we mustn't talk under the clip.
Yeah, can I just read out one comment? Because we asked them what they thought about him. Victoria Moore, but how much would we have paid to see Starmer shove him up against the window by his tie?
I mean, please, someone do an AI of Starmer losing his shit. I mean, you know what would work for me and Starmer is if he suddenly, those eyes, Donald, I'm going to have to tell you, Donald, that I've had enough. This is the end of everything, Donald. I've had it with you.
And von der Leyen would have to come in from the side.
Get me out of this latex seat right now.
Because she was seething. She had her hands crossed in her thing. And it's like Katty Kay said, all you could read in her face is just, I'm going to stay quiet and I'm going to get the fuck out of here as soon as I can.
Back to her Zionist pad.
Oxidus Magicus, I know Trump said in the same answer that they can't get rid of windmills.
Hang on.
Oh, we've got it.
Hang on, we've got that.
Made in China. Windmills are made in China. They used to be Germany and China. Now they're mostly in China. They all come out of China. They say that the blades.
Poor
hang on a minute.
Hang
on a minute. Now, you see, he could play this for laughs, Starmer. If he comes out of there after goes, fuck me, that was absolutely
he
fucking,
knows
that was fucking awful.
He knows he has to grit his teeth.
That was fucking awful. I can't
do. You know what?
I've done Donald twice this year. I can't do Donald anymore this year.
You know what? Our guy that we follow who does the impressions, he's going to do something. I'll look for him.
He'll have to walk. I can't
do it. We're all tired.
Angela, it's your turn next. I've done enough. I've had it.
We're all tired.
But let's just have a look at that wonderful crash pull out to Starmer.
Made in China. They used to be Germany and China. Now they're mostly in China. They all come out of China.
He's saying, Mummy, please come and get me, Mummy. Please, Mummy.
They say that the blades, which are carbon fiber, you can't bury. Oh, okay, you can't bury. What are you going to do? Dump them in the ocean someplace? Because they only last a certain period of time. And remember, a windmill has a life of 8 years, especially when they're out in the salty sea.
I might have to do his inner
thoughts. In the
thoughts.
salty sea.
I might have to
do his inner thoughts.
I'm going to do his inner thoughts, guys.
Do it and put it on your Insta. Mark _
And they start to rot and to rust.
Oh my God. That is an existential.
People are apologizing here for finding it funny.
I'm going to play it one more time, but I want everyone to look at this clip through the lens of an indie cinema film.
Can I just say, Lucy, Christ, I couldn't even be in a room with Trump. And I suppose that's what we have to keep remembering. As much as we are angry, these people are having to sit with him, go for meals with him, listen to his bullshit.
Yeah.
Poor Starmer.
Oiling himself up. Let's just have one more look at it. But look at this within the context of being in a really meaningful art house film.
China. They used to be Germany and China. Now they're mostly in China. They all come out of China. They say that the blades, which are carbon fiber, you can't bury. Oh, okay, you can't bury. What are you going to do? Dump them in the ocean someplace? Because they only last a certain period of time. And remember, a windmill has a life of 8 years.
Oh my God.
One has to say that Donald Trump has an obsession with the technicalities of things.
Because he thinks it makes him sound clever. You know, he needs to be like me. He needs to understand that you don't bring up numbers and you don't bring up scientific technical things because we don't know enough Trump. So we look really stupid.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on. It's just 1 second.
Yeah, we're having to read your comments off here, guys. Do forgive us.
So moving on. So I was standing up the clip, wasn't I, regarding him and his wife. Listen to this. Sabotaged by a what's the word? Oh my God, an errant. I love that. I'm trying to think of a Shakespearean word. Sabotaged by an errant bagpiper. Oh, listen to this.
It's a 10% tariff for floor. Well, we're going to take a look at it. We'll take a look. We want to make the Prime Minister happy. We want to make, by the way, your First Lady, I would say First Lady, she's a respected person all over the United States. I don't know what he's doing, but she's very respected. As respected as him. I don't want to say more. I'll get myself in trouble. But she's a great woman and very highly respected.
Now, let's not beat around the bush.
Where is that? Where is that bagpipe player? Where is he?
He's behind him. He's behind
Bring him to us.
No, I just want to revisit what he says there, because I don't think Nadia heard it, because you can't hear because of the bagpipe. But look at what he says.
We want to make the Prime Minister happy. We want to make, by the way, your First Lady, I would say First Lady, she's a respected person all over the United States.
Right.
I don't know what he's doing, but she's very respected.
I don't know what he's doing. What does he act now? I just thought.
Do you know how he always says she's a beautiful and he
was talking about Starmer's penis.
No,
I don't know what he's doing to have such a beautiful woman. She's more respected, almost more respected than him. What is? We've got the President Trump saying.
He's got no respect.
What's he doing?
It's disgusting.
It's quite astonishing.
Have a little wave to vlog.
Hey guys.
Hey Rex.
Why is it so dark? I'm just going to read some of your comments here. He should run a comedy show. It's a comedy show, says Jackie Villina. It's Piper had one. The Piper had one dram too many. Yes. Starry Sky, she's Jewish. Can I just say, I'm not suggesting you're saying this, Starry Sky, but when people say things like, but she's Jewish or they're Jewish, tens of thousands of millions of Jewish people are anti-Israel and what they're doing.
Yes.
I don't know.
This isn't. See, the thing is,
I get a lot of comments saying, "Oh, but his wife is Jewish." But you'll have
people. No, but I think people often mean that's why he is so. I mean.
But that still doesn't mean that he should be slow on this.
No, but is he not more Zionist? Because listen, let's not get this twisted. This is not about religion. We do say this all the time because it is not. You know, we did a lot of this on last night's live actually. So this is about political ideology. It's not about religion. It's not about Jews and Muslims.
Well, and on that,
for many thousands of years lived in harmony together.
Yeah, well, on that note, I also want to say that there is some clear blue water developing between Zionist supporters of Israel in America and
there is,
the MAGA,
there never was.
the Make America Great base. And this is something that Trump needs to, I think about. This is a clip. I have to confess, I'm not entirely sure where it's come from, but this is a clip of a sort of demonstration where a MAGA guy is remonstrating with a pro-Israeli Zionist. But have a listen to this.
Have no part of the Make America Great Again movement. You need to get out. We don't want to fund your country. We are no part of you. Why don't you go to Israel? Why don't you go to Israel? If you support Israel, go to Israel.
Because Jews have no place in America, right? Warn us if you could. You know what?
Who do you have allegiance to?
Maybe you would do a
Answer
lot
my question.
worse. I have allegiance to that flag that you are disgracing.
Why do you come here with an Israel flag? I saw you with an Israel flag.
Of course, I love Israel. It's America's greatest ally. Absolutely.
Greatest ally. What do they give us?
Let me ask you.
What does Israel give us?
What does it give?
Bombs?
Well, Israel gives us its democracy.
Then what happened on 9/11?
Did the Jews do it?
Of course.
The Jews did 9/11.
Of course Israel did 9/11.
Listen to this Jew hater.
Of course Israel did 9/11. I love Jews. You make Jews in America look bad.
You love Jews?
I love Jews. It's the difference between Zionists and Jews. It's a genocidal state. You're the only one who has allegiance to another country. You should fuck up to Israel. Who hates Jews?
Anti-Semitism.
We know you. We know who you are.
Look at this. Another idiot.
Wow.
You know what? I find it almost embarrassing that there are still groups and lobby groups trying to conflate criticism of Israel with anti-Semitism. It feels so old-fashioned, and I think if anything, and this is, it shouldn't take the fucking genocide of the Palestinians to get there. if anything's been proven for sure in the last 18 months, it's that those two things have been entirely conflated in a fraudulent, manipulative, propagandist fashion. And I think something that is refreshing to come out of this whole conflict is clarification, a clarification of manipulation. And I think, once again, going back to echoing what we were saying last night, this is where I think Benjamin Netanyahu really underestimates the severity of his impact on the life and the status of Israel. I mean, how many young people, how many people who've witnessed this, who are engaged with this, even young people, as that guy proves, on the right, who I wouldn't say I share political, ideologies with, how many are going to say, well, we've seen what you've done. You can't put it back in the bottle, and no amount of censoring, controlling. And we're about to show you another clip on another age drop with Jeremy Bowen from the BBC, another reporter that the usual suspects, the Zionist lobby group, seek to forever try and suggest because he's the only one giving a degree of individuality and humanity. And that is just prepping stuff out of shop, by the way. He's the only journalist to actually give a sort of humanitarian aspect to the Palestinians. But how dare he? As soon as he does, he's always the one that's sort of in the crosshairs of the Zionist lobbyists who want to make sure no one says anything. So what we're going to do now is show you another clip with Jeremy Bowen embedded within another. I don't think this is a Jordanian plane. I think this is a UAE plane. Is there anything you want to say, Prita?
No, that's good. I've seen this.
Which will guide the aid down to Gaza. There are 8 tons on here, baby milk, some food, medical supplies, and there's this aircraft and one other from the UAE. Now, clearly, on its own, this is not going to make a great deal of difference. The only thing that really will make a big difference would be a lot of road convoys. You can't do it with airdrops, but airdrops are symbolic, they're telegenic, they look good on television, and they give the impression that something's being done. And without question, the fact this is being permitted by the Israelis means that they have responded to pressure. So the Jordanians have passed on a message from the Israelis. The Israelis don't want us to film out of the window at the devastation inside Gaza. But I've spent 10 minutes looking at it with my own eyes. And I can tell you that communities in the north of Gaza that I knew well, very vibrant, tens of thousands of people living hard lives, but actually with a remarkable human spirit, are flat. There's nothing left of them. Now, if you've been watching satellite pictures, it won't come as any surprise. But seeing it is really something. Israel will not allow reporters like myself to enter Gaza to report the story. And they don't want us to see it, to film it anyway, from above either.
You see, I think I liken this to what Starmer, with he's a friend of mine. These are people that are so held round the throat, but they are trying to get the message across, and we should do a mashup actually of him and the Sky woman to just show how restricted. I think, and this is what journalists have to ask over and over again. If you keep saying everybody is lying, let the journalists in. Because it's you confirm it.
It's the simplest solution.
Simplest solution.
And it should have been, and it's beginning to be now, and it should have been all the way through. We have been saying this, that the first question every single journalist that ever gets a representative from the Israeli government or a lobby group on television that tells everyone is lying, the journalist, because they're a journalist, should be duty bound to ask always, and to be brutally honest, Piers Morgan does every time he has someone on, why won't you let journalists in to independently verify
hear them saying,
stuff?
But it's quite extraordinary how they just don't answer it.
They say it's for their protection. They say that they are letting them in as long as they're embedded with the IDF. Well, do they think we're born yesterday? Do they think that anyone allowed in with the IDF? People buy the idea that there's two things at work here. There's extraordinary, malevolent evil and crass stupidity. And you bring the two together in unholy matrimony, and you have the Israeli government's policy in Gaza and the way in which it telegraphs it to the rest of the world. it's quite frightening.
It needs to be picked up big time in America, though. We need.
It's not a complicated thought.
Yeah.
It really isn't and, you know, Marjorie Taylor Greene, it's not complicated. You have a country here
where your money is being leaked, just tsunamied out of America to Israel, when people are, you know, Medicaid is being cut, people's food bills are unmanageable for so many Americans. You know, it's become, the American dream is withering on the vine, whilst billions of dollars go to Israel. And I just can't believe that more Americans aren't out on the street going crazy.
Well, and I think this is going to present a real problem for the governing elite in America. We now understand why there's no difference between Biden, Kamala. I mean,
all the same.
The depression. Yeah. I don't know any Americans here, the sheer depression at the thought that the Democrats' most novel idea for a candidate at the next presidential election is Kamala Harris. You need to clear out all the old.
I mean, there's no
hope. You need
hope.
To bring in the new. I mean, you've got to have a completely new approach, but a new approach demands lots and lots of people in government not being able to be made wealthy. And let's not beat around the bush. It's simple greed.
Amount of money.
You know, Lindsey Graham, is it? You know, they're paid millions to parrot this Israeli
but maybe
propaganda.
That's such an important part of the Epstein files. Like, if it is true, and there are so many of the politicians through the ages that have been a part of this, then maybe that's the way that their system is broken down and is built back up again without the corruption. Corruption, I can't believe how ignorant I've been all my life on the corruption in America. Politicians, I just didn't realize. I suppose I just wasn't interested, just didn't know.
I think the problem for me, there's lots of memes going around, which is like Winnie the Pooh and Piglet, and they go, well, if you could dream of anything, what would it be? I dreamed for a time where I didn't realize how completely what a lie the world is.
Yeah.
I mean, so much is a lie. So many things are starting to fall into place. So many things are falling away. And I always say,
at the same
awakened.
time,
that's being awakened.
Don't let anyone tell you off for being woke. You know, but the thing is, that's what I also love it, because I see there are so many other like-minded people, and there have been people that are fighting and battling and talking about all this stuff for so long. So like we were saying last night, we are shocked by certain corners of humanity and just so inspired and nourished by others. So
just going to read some of your comments. Jane Bentley, do they think Americans are stupid, disgusting? I think, again, I go back to malevolent evil coupled with stupidity. They're the two sides of the same coin. That is the Zionist coin. There is such malevolence and evil intent and manipulation and control. And yet there is also a crass stupidity and lack of depth or ability to be able to even comprehend that you're wrong. I mean, it's truly narcissistic.
I love that man on the Mandela boat.
Oh, the Mandela,
saying,
yeah.
I am a Zionist in recovery.
Oh, yeah.
So my brainwashing was so deep. And he's in his 65, was he? And there he was on that boat trying to right his wrong. He said the brainwashing starts so young in Zionism.
Kirsty Rowley says, I don't think they care. They know we know they're lying, but it's a question of what we're going to do about it.
Do you know what I said the other day, Kirsty? I said, I kind of miss cover-ups. Because everything is being done so straight in our face that we feel like we're going mad. It's like Fanny by gaslight.
Well, what's happening at the now?
Gaslighting us.
I think the tension I'm feeling in this crisis right now is that Israel is, say, 65 to 70% through achieving a cover-up on the ground. And I believe every day I wake up and look at the news, my sense of stress and tension around it, and I think in the activist movement, it's the same, is that the percentage of success around the cover-up is increasing incrementally every day. There's definitely been a change of tone and feeling in the last 48 hours. It feels like in the last 48 hours, there's a sudden kind of, right down to, as we've got in the title, you know, Labour are talking, Starmer is calling an urgent cabinet meeting to talk about recognizing the state of Palestine. And so there's mood music shifting and changing. And as you rightly said this morning, I didn't mean to kind of just be like annoyed about it, but Nadia was talking, do you want to say you were talking to sort of diplomats the other day, and they were saying it's seismic in diplomatic circles.
They were they were lovely about this. Listen, we know how frustrating it is for you, but behind the scenes, it is, you may say, oh, but what difference is it going to make now with the horror that is in Palestine? But these are massive moves that are happening. And I just wanted to know more. In what way? But, you know, they're restricted with what they could say. But But she said, don't underestimate when you're hearing, like France, because at that point France had just stated it. It's just enormous.
And my frustration with it is it's all tokenistic. It's all, and now look, don't get me wrong. We've talked about the importance of symbolism around things like the flotilla. I know that this is symbolic, and I think if you did a vox pop, if you were allowed into Palestine and spoke to everyone in Gaza, if they were all to say, do you know what it means the world to us?
Exactly.
If Britain and France,
so we can't just say, oh wow, what
Yeah.
does it mean now? What does it mean now? We just have to keep taking ourselves out of this, the feelings of these things, and try and see them more.
Yeah. So
what nuts and bolts of something trying to be done behind the scenes?
What does it actually mean? No, it doesn't actually mean much. When you actually drill into what is probably going to be said by Starmer later today, the recognition of a Palestinian state is going to be incumbent on the hostages being handed over and a permanent ceasefire being agreed. The same kind of catch-22 situation, which, if you read into this, there have been countless agreeable ceasefire deals in which Hamas have themselves said they agree to a change of autocratic rule in the Gaza Strip. Israel repeatedly walks away from the table, fanning the flames of it's other people, it's other people, it's other people. Even Israel's own negotiators have said, we are the biggest block and hurdle to progress. So the press is forever telling us that this is only a Hamas problem when it comes to brokering a ceasefire. So if recognizing a Palestinian state needs all the same constituent elements in place, you can be rest assured Israel will not allow them to happen. That said, the Israeli government did say, if you recognize a Palestinian state in the UK, we won't be visiting your country. And I said, promises, promises. That'd be rather nice. Threat, then? Is that a threat or is it a promise? Shall we show this young boy?
Yes. Now, just to take us into a place of calm.
Thanks, guys.
We have this fabulous young man who's just going to bring us right down.
Yeah. And also, sorry about the comments problem with StreamYard.
Yeah, but we have been seeing them here. And please, can I ask you again to hit the subscribe button, share our Gaza videos, get the news out there, and well done, Jeremy Bowen.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done, Jeremy Bowen.
Do this. Calm down like this. Take a deep breath.
Okay.
Take a deep breath.
Okay.
Take a deep breath. Now, do calm and do yoga.
Oh my God.
Focus on your balancing in your brain.
Okay.
It will help you calm down.
Okay.
It will give you the heart and the strongest, mightiest in your head.
Okay.
Just like this.
Okay.
See how you feel me?
Yeah, I feel you.
See how you calm down?
Yeah, I am coming down.
Oh man. What? Wait, let me calm Mom down. Take a deep breath.
My life.
Breathe in. Breathe out. 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 Did that calm you down?
It did. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ace.
You see, I have the power inside of me.
Yes, you do.
Me too. God, because God gave me the power of the suminate in my brain, making me have superpowers and stronger than a battle.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ace, okay?
Okay.
Love you.
I love you too. Your heart connected? Is your heart connected?
My heart is connected.
Because I fixed it.
Yes, you did.
Now it's like, you're welcome.
All right.
Oh my.
Is your heart
Christ.
connected? Is your heart connected?
He is a guru. Amy says I could cry. Amazing.
I know.
Sunday school kid says meet you. Bless him. Bless him. What a beautiful soul. Oh my God, thanks for that. He's absolutely charming.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys. Sorry, I'm still thinking about how traumatized Keir must be. Yeah, let's enter the chamber of poor old Keir Starmer's brain. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining us. Thanks for your comments. How to Stay Married is landing later.
Take care.
Fun. Bye.